Trust me, I can tell you some shit, some stories, dude. That does, and you know, but it did take me a minute to realize, oh, that's what she doing. You know what I'm saying? I was on that type of state of mind. I was like, oh,
man,
because I know that I'm not creating the argument. I'm not creating the difficulties or the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to the point where I was like, oh, okay. So if that's the case, then obviously things ain't right.
Something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
My thing is this, Fuel. Speak on it.
That part.
See, the difference between me and everybody else, I'm gonna say something.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I don't like that shit. Or hey, I don't think that this is this. Speak on it.
Mm-hmm.
But don't hold it in and then create issues on other shit.
Right.
That's my only thing about it.
Tap in. Y'all let us know that y'all here. Give us some comments.
Hey,
we here. We just trying to get everybody waiting for a little bit. We ain't gonna wait long. I'm kind of waiting long for people.
We got some stuff for y'all today now.
Yeah, we always got something.
Real game for you today.
Hey man, you know who porn star Zoe Sin is?
I do not.
It says first BBC was with Isaiah. What? Oh, I'm talking. Hey, I'm reading too much online. Hey, like, what are you reading about?
What she do?
None. It's just a conversation. I can't say. I bet not say. Who's that? Who we got? Oh, Carolyn's in the house. What's up, Carolyn?
Hey, Carolyn.
Thanks for joining us. Let me get everybody else in here.
I'm trying to get in here right now. For some reason, Fuel, it don't load like it used to no more.
I know. For some reason, yeah. I don't know.
It don't pop right on my thing like it used to.
Check your notifications. Maybe your notifications ain't pulling up. Thanks for joining, Curlin. We'll be getting started here in a second. We just want to wait till everybody get in. Sit tight with us. We got some conversation. If you look between the titles there, then you'll have an idea of what we're going to be talking about today. Let me do this. All right, dang it. But welcome everybody that's here. Welcome. Appreciate you guys tapping in.
Make sure you do that.
Man. See, man, I hate the whole two verifications type of crap. I get tired of stuff going on my phone, man. So I can verify and stupid code or whatever. Although it is safe, I just don't like doing it all the time. Curlin, how you been? How's your week going? It's been a crazy week for me. I can tell y'all that for sure.
It's been a rough one, man. I think it's been a rough one for us all out this motherfucker this week.
I thought the rain would come, make people a little more calmer, but man, that is not the case, dog. Who else we got here?
Come on in now.
Who's that? Close that. We all quiet and shit.
I know, huh? We working. That's what I'm putting.
We ain't got no show to do or something.
I'm sending everybody the show. That's why.
Right. I think we had to get away from the conversation that we was talking about before we came online. Very pissed. I was sick. Didn't see Janet. My tickets was what?
$29 non-refundable. Oh, that's not cool. Hey, man, Janet be on bulls.
120, huh?
Janet be on BS, man. I remember when I worked at the she's just finicky, man. I know y'all love Janet.
Really?
I remember when I worked at the Greek theater, they put all these signs around the Greek saying we couldn't look at her.
What?
On my children. After that, I never liked her. I swear to you. After that,
so if she walks through, y'all ain't supposed to be able to look
down.
at her. Shit, y'all got me fucked up.
Bro, I said I'll be getting fired today because soon as I see her, I'm gonna look her dead in her eyes.
Right? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. We just sharing you guys to all the pages and everything right now, and just trying to make sure everybody's getting in before we get into this topic. We're about to get into it in a second. That is crazy though, Carolyn, that you had a shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry that she was sick. I know.
Right?
I'm sorry, man. I hope you feel better now, though. For real. Them tickets it is her fault, Carolyn. Them tickets could have been refundable though. She could have gave you $5 back. You feel me?
Well, I think the day of, if unless she I don't know. Like if it's a day or two before the concert, they might not let you take it, I don't know. But still, all that money, dude, it should be refundable regardless. Yeah. It ain't like they're gonna sit here and, trip off of how many people was there.
Right.
So, but anywho.
You ready to get into this thing?
Yeah.
Don't get into here.
All right, well, we're about to get this show started, you guys. Let me see. We got a lot going on, so let me get this intro, and then we're gonna get it. Oh, where's my
play that dope ass intro, man?
Everything be kind of like everything is slow motion today, man.
I think it was the rain, man. The rain got everybody, man. Oh look, I still got this damn thing.
I know you still got your rag on.
Watch out there, Carletta. What's happening now? Long time no see. Now, watch out there now.
Here we go.
Carletta,
let's go. Let's get started.
All right, there I am, y'all. I'm in. I'm here now.
All the illusions will get the parade, and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We know.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace. I love y'all.
Yeah.
What's up, man? It's your boy Fuel.
It's your boy Fat Boy in the building. You already know what type of time we on. We here. What's happening, y'all?
Reasons on Fired Up Thursdays, Al. And we appreciate you guys each and every time to come in and understand that you guys can comment on what you think about the topics that we're talking about or whatever, and we will engage with you. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot to talk about today. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about I don't know. Should I run down the line, man, or should I just?
No, we can just bring it out for him over the head.
Just bring it out or whatever. All right, instead of running down the line, because you should see it in the text anyway on the screen on your on whatever. If you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on YouTube, you should still see what we're going to be talking about or whatever. So instead of me running it down at the beginning, save me some. Anyway, hey, I didn't say nothing earlier, man, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this out the way. I don't know if y'all watching, but this goes to a lot of friends of mine or friends of mine in the last month or two that has been supportive of the journey that I'm on, the things that we're doing and trying to accomplish, and that has helped throughout those times. Sometimes I feel a little disappointed or upset in ways because it's not happening as fast as I wanted to. You know what I mean? But I pray about it all the time, and God tells me be patient. Be patient. I just need to be patient. So for those of you that may has helped and and basically are upset that I didn't follow through like I was supposed to follow through on things or whatever. Trust me, it's been stuff out of my hand. It's not because I didn't want to follow through or I didn't, do as I said I was going to say at the time. A lot of things have occurred or whatever to the point where it has delayed, the situation, the things. So I just had to get that off my chest because, and it's a sincere apology to those or whatever, because I know that they're true friends. And that's the only reason why I'm on here, and letting people know, now that this is something that I'm not purposely trying to do or purposely wanting to hurt anyone's feelings or put them in any kind of bind or any kind of way, that type of thing or whatever. So just that part or whatever, I genuinely just asking you guys to be patient with me and be patient with the situations that we're going through and getting to, and the outcome is going to be great. Trust me, it's going to be great. You know what I mean? So I had to get that off my chest though, real quick, man. So I know Fat Boy wasn't expecting that. He didn't know what was going on, but
no, I'm with you though. I was just sending out some text. I'm with you, man. Like he said, man, shout out to y'all hanging on us with with our journey. But I'm with you, man. Patience. Patience and in due time. Sometimes we try to rush for what we want, but what we need is coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so what we want ain't even big enough for what we need.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes we gotta hold on, and I'm sounding like my mama. We gotta steadfast.
Oh, got to hold on. Hey, Curlin said that she don't see the topics.
And we ain't put none up yet.
Crown printing in the house. No. I guess because it must not have came up on. It should. I don't understand. It should show though. But all right. Well, let me just run it down because
right now you got to subscribe to YouTube and Fire It Up Broadcasting on. That's why.
Who, me?
Yeah, you don't have the show title on.
I don't have the show title on Fire It Up.
Subscribe. It just says subscribe YouTube and Fire It Up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. It shows the title right here.
It said up top, but it don't say it like under the screen where we are.
No, not on the screen.
Oh yeah, but it said the video is it's titled.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I thought
the title and where how we usually have it.
Yeah. I thought I didn't put the topics yet because we haven't started talking about none yet.
Oh, yeah,
but I think Curlin was saying that there wasn't like how like even like on Facebook or whatever, or even the YouTube, when you go down at the bottom to the descriptions, it should have all the stuff that we're talking about. Maybe that's not showing. But if hopefully it'll come up. But I'm just going to we're talking about the war in Sudan. We're going to talk about the U.S. Maybe defaulting in the national debt, and what that looks like for us if that happens, and what a healthy communication between spouse really looks like. You know what I mean? And the importance of changing the way you act towards disrespect. And man, I had experience today, dude. I'm gonna tell you about it. When we get to that, it's crazy. And it was crazy once I sat down and put in the top. I was like, damn, that shit just happened to me. So I'm going to tell y'all and share that with you guys too later on during the show. But right now, let's get into the first one, man. Let me see who we got. Who we got there in the house? It look like who's that? Vladimir, what's up, man?
That's JoJo.
Just JoJo, yeah. That's what I'm saying. What's up? What's up? Good to see you, bro. What's with the bats? What's with the bats? I don't know what the new emojis is, man. What the hell's going on? What's the bats? Hey, so let's get into it, man. Because you know, enlighten me a little bit more about this war. Oh, once again, real quick before we do that, prayers still go out for Jamie Foxx. I heard he's doing a little bit better, if I'm not mistaken. There is a lot of theory going on behind why he's in the hospital. Something happened with Cameron Diaz. No, is it Cameron Diaz? No, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the film with her or whatever. That's afraid to speak about it or afraid of something happening. It's a whole story behind it. You guys go into online, Google it, and it's a whole story about that too. I don't know if it's a little conspiracy theory thing behind it, as far as someone trying to purposely hurt these guys and threaten them from what was it? Threatening them and trying to what is it? Not trying to threatening them and then trying to, I think, extort money out of them, that type of thing. So it was some shit like that going on. So I don't know how much of it is true, but you know, if you guys know it, hit us in the comment and let us know what y'all think. And what, you know, if y'all know anything about that. But let's get into it, man.
War in Sudan.
War, man. So yeah, enlighten me, man. Tell me more what's going on in that.
So currently, two Sudan generals are at war with each other in Sudan, of course. This actually started this conflict really started about 2019, but it was like a ceasefire situation. But as of April 15th, there's been a nonstop crisis. People have been fleeing over, I think like 100,000 people have fled the country for safety. Over 4,500 people have been wounded, over 500 killed. And basically, the military is going at it with a paramilitary group called RSF. And I'm gonna let y'all know what it means. It's called Rapid Support Forces. It's a paramilitary group out of Sudan. And so what's happened is all of the paramilitary group is attacking all non-Arabic people, right? And so the issue is it could possibly create a civil war within Sudan. It's low-key a civil war already. The two generals are going at it. One of the generals is
now, and the war in Russia is still going, right?
Yeah, war in Russia is still going. War in Ukraine still.
So it's basically almost the same thing. Is what they're.
No, I think this one a little different because Russia is like the big brother to Ukraine, and they want them to fall in line. This is basically This is like Russia fighting each other, right?
Oh.
So it's like Russia split sides and they going at it. That's what's going on in this. And Sudan, the military is fighting a paramilitary group,
right?
And so they going at it. I had a clip I was gonna send it to you, but it's okay. It's been a ceasefire today, so they can get people out of there. As of the last few days, it's been like a ceasefire because it's been crazy. They've been killing and shooting. The two generals are basically trying to overthrow each other so they can take political control over the country. And so I don't see US step in yet. I haven't seen Europe step in yet. So what they are allowing people to do, of course, is to migrate to US territories and to European territories or British territories. And it's been an all-out war since April 15th, y'all.
Who's that? Douglas in the house. What's up, man? Appreciate you tapping in. He said that my guy, this is Brohim. I'm here with you. What?
What
does that mean?
And so so I'm gonna actually read an article I have. Just read a little bit from it so I'll let y'all know really what's more going on. It says the death toll. I'm sorry. Let me tell y'all who wrote this. This is an article by Haley Ott from CBS News, the World News. This is on. You can get this on CBSNews.com. It says the death toll from the crisis in Sudan has climbed over 500. According to the World Health Organization, as a tense 72-hour ceasefire was extended for another 3 days, Friday, the Founder of Truth has quieted more than a week of intense fighting between two well-armed factions led by rival commanders. Here's what's happening in the East African nation. Who's fighting in Sudan? The clashes in Sudan are between the Sudanese armed forces led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group led by General Mohammed Hamadan Daglo. Tear me up with the names, y'all.
Hey, that shit, those words be getting challenging though. When you talking foreign shit, that shit gets challenging.
Let me go. Hold on. Here you go. It says, I'm gonna just read a little bit more. It says, until recently, the leaders of the two forces were allies. They worked together in 2019 to overthrow the Sudanese brutal dictator Omar al-Bashir, who ruled over the country for 3 decades, sweeping to power as thousands of people took to the streets in a popular uprising against al-Bashir. I'm trying to find the name of the other general, y'all.
So basically, I mean, does that affect us in any way?
It does. Well, I wanted to talk about it because it's a potential civil war. And Marlon was telling me about it, and I just thought I was clowning with him because I'm like, bro, it's 2023. I just thought we was past civil wars. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in a time where if you can't sit down and talk your differences out, that's something going on, something wrong. And I think it's more than that, and it is. It's a war for the power struggle, and that will never go out of style, right? That issue will never. So it could potentially, of course, because America always has to jump into something. So
that's what I was going to say.
Potentially impact and affect us as a nation, but right now we're just over. We're just looking. Yeah.
Right. Well, the same thing. Have we done anything? We haven't decided nowhere with Russia at all, right? No, we ain't decided
with anybody yet, which is rare. Well, we did take Ukraine weapons. We did give them weapons. We gave them like $3 billion in weapons, so that's a debt that they owe.
Yeah. Speaking of debt, man, let's get into this next one, man. You said U.S. may be defaulting on national debts soon, and what that would look like for us as well. You know, and I read a little bit, understanding that if we do go into this debt, it goes into another recession. Yeah. And my point is I don't. It's just crazy how we can be in such of a debt, and how we always end up paying for, the other people paying for the little people paying for the mistakes of the big wigs. Yeah. Change the title. Huh? No, did I change? Oh, here it is.
Absolutely. Got you. You're absolutely right, man. I really got to get you into the real reason why we're in this debt, because of Reaganomics. Ronald Reagan brought all that damn money during the 80s, and we still been borrowing. But right now, Congress and the president and everybody's supposed to be meeting to extend the borrowing. They want to borrow more money so that we don't go into the recession. But I feel that we have to go through the recession to get through the recession. I think that if we continue to postpone the recession, it's going to continue to get worse.
Well, it's crazy. How do we get into this? How do we get to this point especially when we had so much money has been used to get us back on track? That was basically our money. The trillions of dollars that was used to get us back on track after the COVID, the whole COVID thing and everything. After all that happened, that money we didn't borrow money to get that money, for to get our country back on track. That money was already reserved, right?
In debt,
so why did all this money that's
reserved? We're already in debt like $4 trillion though.
Right. And we use trillions of dollars on ourselves or whatever. So why is it to the point that we still owe these people when is the debt just not being paid? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's just so crazy how that.
They ain't paying. It's so funny that they'll cancel your credit card for not paying your little $1,000, little $10,000 debt. These fools got $4 trillion a debt and ain't paid a dime. I think we gave China a little dough, but I tell people all the time, U.S. is funny.
Wasn't something said as far as China? No, as far as the money that we owe to China because of the recession, it was some sort of clause, I guess, because of the recession that we had with the COVID and everything, released us for a certain amount of money to get to China.
But we still owe.
Yeah, but that's something purposely done. I just think things, man, are just purposely done, man, and because now it's affecting people's jobs. The federal, their jobs if things ain't taken care of by June 1st. And I need you guys to follow that. Keep following that, huh?
Hits its $31.4 trillion debt ceiling.
We make money. Why the hell we even?
$31.4 trillion, y'all. That's a lot of money to owe somebody throughout the countries. Mm-hmm. The thing is we keep borrowing and we not paying it back. And that's just America though. We'll go through this in another 15 years again. They're not paying them loans back. I'm just letting y'all know that. Yeah. So get ready for the high interest rates. Get ready for the mortgage. That's what this shit affects. If we go into a recession, the banks will start charging less interest, which makes your interest rate on your cars are going to go up. Your mortgage is going to go up.
Which is already going up. Everything is already
in a recession, though. But this is going to inflate everything more. So it affects mortgages. It affects jobs. They said it may be over 3 million layoffs due to this. So if you're working, depending on where you're working, be careful. Make sure y'all stack and save money. It's going to affect the 401k. It's saying you can lose up to $20,000 in your 401k. But don't listen, people. Don't fret. Leave your monies where they are. This shit happens all the time. And what happens in a recession means everything goes down. But if it go down, it got to go back up. So I'm going to tell y'all, as a future and potential investor, this is actually the best time to start investing.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is just so people would know, for Social Security, it does say as a 1996 law provided as an escape clause that allows the Treasury Department to continue paying Social Security benefits even if there is a delay in raising the debt ceiling. There's a legal authority, and it arguably should be used to make sure benefits are paid. Steve Robson, chief economist for the bipartisan Concord Coalition, wrote this as well just recently too. So if you are collecting Social Security or whatever, it won't affect you because of that particular clause. So you guys know that as well. But still we got to keep an eye and keep a close eye on, and like you said, even if you're able to invest or whatever, it is a good time to try to invest, because as soon as it's over, things is going to be booming.
Go back up.
You know what I mean? And sometimes I think it's beginning to be a regular thing to happen at a certain time or whatever the case would be, but it still affect people, especially with federal jobs. They let them go and then they hire them back, but then hire them back for less or whatever. And people get desperate and take the job because they got to have something. Yeah. So it's a little Ponzi ass game to me, when it comes to these type of situations of us being in this debt situation. So yeah. But yeah, man,
we kind of talked about this, but according to an article published on CNN called 5 Ways a Debt Defaulted Could Affect You, written by Tammy Lawby and Elizabeth Buchwald from CNN. This is actually updated this week, May 2nd. So this is the most recent about the loan. It says that if Congress fails to increase the debt limit, it will cause severe hardship to American families, harm our global leadership position, and raise questions about our ability to defend our national security interests, she wrote. To be clear, a debt default doesn't mean all payments would stop and people would permanently lose out on money they are owed. Treasury would have to have the funds to satisfy some obligation, but it's not certain how the agency will handle the disbursements. And that's according to CNN News. So it's a lot of bureaucracy, right? It's a lot of shit that I feel like this government shit. And being an American, you get affected by it because I feel, and this is my opinion, I feel recessions is bad for the economy but good for the governments because it allows them to issue a new wave of order, a new wave of security, a new wave of financial status, a new wave of something. And all a recession does is allow the big players to watch the market collapse, buy low, and then sell high after the recession.
And then sell high when it starts by exactly.
Just stay steadfast, y'all. Stay focused. This definitely can impact y'all, but I do think that Congress will come to and lift the debt. But me personally, I don't think they should lift it no higher than $31.4 trillion. I mean, what do we lift it to? 40 million? I mean, 40 trillion? At this point, we got to start paying back the loans. If we don't start paying back the loans, we're going to continue to be in a recession, and we're going to continue to have high interest rates.
Who do we owe and what do we owe for? What is it that basically that we're getting from these other countries or the loans or whatever to the point where we owe it?
Well, we borrowed so much money. We borrowed so much money from China. We borrowed so much money from Europe. We've borrowed so much money to help us out of recessions and other things. But it all started with Reaganomics. So this is really 30 years in the making.
Yeah, and I will get more into that. Yeah, more depth into that as well, man. Because it's just like every other few months, man, we're going through something. You know what I'm saying, with the country or whatever. Or every other year, it's always something, that we got to try to overcome, whatever. And I think the pandemic was like, to be honest with you, I actually really think that it's going to be another pandemic. Because there's something behind that. There's something behind it.
Pay attention to this, and I tell people all the time. The pandemic was done purposely for me because if you weren't online, you had to go online or go out of business. It literally, within 2 years, it made everyone shift their business model. And if you did not shift your business model to where the times were going, you were put out of business. And so it just shows you that, yes, it was a pandemic. Yes, COVID it was real in some ways, right? But it was initiated and implemented to initiate a new world order, a new way of doing things.
And a better way or newer way of being able for them to know what you're doing.
Track your sales.
Track yours. Yeah. Track what you're doing.
You need all of these things.
Yeah.
If you think about all the companies, Walmart really went crazy online. Amazon, of course, was already there. All of your local eateries began door dashing. or postmating. So you have to realize what comes out of these situations. And so that's why I say economically it's bad for us, but it's good for the government because it allows them to implement and initiate these small little details that helps perpetuate and move things forward.
True. And who we got?
Hey, Auntie.
Shakita, hey, that was for them to gain source of control. That's exactly what you just said, Fat Boy. Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, Auntie, that's my auntie right there.
Yeah. What's up? Appreciate you tapping in. But yeah, that is basically what it is, man. Everything that is going on is for them to gain control and not do it in a way that the other countries do it.
Right. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Not sound forced or whatever and all that type of shit. Right.
They allow you to vote on some shit and then some shit they just force on you. Like I tell people all the time, get ready. There will be one of the biggest class action lawsuits that America has ever seen when someone wakes up and find out that it was unconstitutional to force people to take the COVID vaccine. That was what how they hid behind it was because they made it a pandemic, which is a world emergency, right? And that was the reason why they were able to immediately put it on the ballots. I mean, immediately enforce it. But because we're a democratic country, that was supposed to be put on the ballot in November. Before they even issued a state of an emergency and saying that all of U.S. citizens and states have to participate in this vaccine or take this vaccine, they were supposed to put it on the books. The fact that they did it was unconstitutional. And so this is another one of those situations to where they're finding a way, and I bet you something comes out of this recession.
Yeah. Of course.
or they lift the budget, or they lift the debt, and we keep going, continue to be in debt. And by the time I'm an old man, we'll be $100 trillion in debt.
Yeah. But sometimes, it's always some of the shit is used to excuse to cut shit.
Yeah.
To cut shit. And so that's why, especially when there's not agreements across the board about Medicare, about Social Security, about all these other, benefits like the EBT and all that type of shit, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, okay, we need to come up with something to cut it because it was already voted out that they could have so much, though you can do so much or whatever the case would be, so that's the part that really bothers me, because it's like every time you think things are going okay, it's always something that the hierarchy does to kind of like take you even down further. You know what I'm saying? Because you're looking at people with Medicaid, Medicare, whatever, cheap medical insurance, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and they're okay. They don't want people to be okay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So what do we need to do? We need to come up with something or whatever, the reasoning why we have to cut it.
And why do we
now understand? I mean, in the havoc that it's putting on other people's lives.
Why do we wait till the last minute to tell people that we were going to end up defaulting on the loan? Why are we waiting until the loan is defaulted to see if we're going to raise the budget or not?
To see it right, and has such short expanded time.
You know that they manipulating the situation because they want mortgages to go up. They want it.
And they knew about this year. They knew about this last year. They knew about this last year
to happen because big business wins and small people play for it. And so that's why I'm working so hard to get into one or to get closer to 1% as we can. Because I'm tired of dealing with that shit. They give us what they say. They feed us shit and call it sugar. You know what I'm saying? But just another one of those ways. So hopefully we come to an agreement. I'm pretty sure I would rather avoid the recession. I'm not sure, y'all. But I don't want the debt to go up any higher. I think that just $31 trillion is a lot of money, y'all. A trillion.
It's just another thing.
Just get this straight. $1 trillion, y'all, is 100 billions, or right? It's like 100 billion.
100 billion is a trillion.
That's a lot of money. Or a billion, 100.
No, 999 trillion is a billion. No, 199 million. No, 999 million is a trillion.
It's like $999 billion. That's how much money. That's like a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Right.
And we then ran through $1 trillion. What's that? 12, 20 times down there already. So we didn't triple that. We didn't maxed out that trillion about 12, 36 times. 30 times.
And like I said, it really comes down. It ain't like it's not there. It's always a ploy to actually get something else out of it, or have some other excuse or whatever to get out of what we basically, what other people really have or whatever, to try to keep them low. You know what I'm saying? Not the point of bringing them up is to try to keep other people low. You know what I'm saying? Those that are getting help and resources through them, that type of thing. So, that's really, really what it comes down to. So guys, keep following that, keep looking, and checking that out or whatever, because you just never know when it might affect you or whatever, especially when it comes to Medicaid, SNAP, and all those type of things that you're getting from the government or whatever, because obviously it sounds like something they're really trying to either cut back on or cut out completely.
That's what it's
so let's get into this next one, man. Which is your favorite one, the Black History topic. We're talking about today. Who? Garret
Morgan, Sr. This is another segment of History of Blackness. This week is gonna be real short and smooth, y'all. Garret Morgan, man, is an American inventor, born March 4th, 1877 in Paris. And he died July 27, 1963 in Cleveland, Ohio. And now Garret Morgan, man, is responsible for so many things, but I'm just going to give you a few. He's responsible for the creation of the modern day traffic light. He's responsible for the gas mask, and he's responsible for, before Madam C.J. Walker, he's responsible for hair straightening products, as well as the modern day sewing machine. Now, people, I love to give you the education. This man did all of this on an elementary school education. So this man became one of the greatest inventors, inventing things that you use, that the world use to this day. The traffic light, you just stopped at one of those on your way to work. Well, you ain't sewing that much. Women don't sew as much as no more. But the clothes you got on to get them seams in there, he's the reason why that modern day sewing machine is there. The gas mask. I always said this about during those Black Lives Rally protests. The police are even using our own inventions against us. When they throw tear gas, that was one of the 1,000 ways, and we're going to talk about this later, but that was also one of the 1,000 ways that George Washington Carver used the peanut. Tear gas and peanut oil and stuff like that. Well, when they put on a mask during wars, or when they gas you, like right now, it going on Sudan, when they're gassing these buildings, when they throw on a face mask, that comes from Mr. Morgan. And so when I was reading up on him, I have a lot more, but I always like to keep it. I wanted to keep it short for him. I wanted to focus more on his inventions. When I was reading up on him, I think the thing that shocked me the most was just all of this was done on an elementary school education, dude. Like, I know some dudes that went to college that are not inventors or hasn't invented something that we still use to this day. And I think that a big reason why I wanted to bring this one It's because we've done authors and we've done activists, but we haven't done an inventor yet. And I wanted to bring someone that you rarely hear about, and he has made such a great contribution, not only to America, but to the world as we know it, right? The way that we wear our clothes, the way that we in wartime, when we stop at a light, everything, right? And I think there's more things that he created. Absolutely, there's a lot of more things that he created. But hold on, I'm gonna pull up some things. I got an article too about it. Hold on.
Why are you looking up that then? I just want to kind of
Paris, y'all.
I just want to state that the reason we do these Black history, history and Blackness, is to let our younger generations know that even and I know this is gonna sound kind of crazy, but college ain't for everybody, even like I said, even a certain point in schooling or whatever is not for everybody. If you have a dream, a goal, a skill that you are great at, that you can continue and be great at those skills and make a living for yourself or whatever, to the point. And I'm not saying, oh, don't go to school. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you can be creative like these people have done before. And that's why we go back in the histories or whatever, and you see the limited education a lot of people had back in the day, because of course they didn't have, they didn't go to no colleges, you know what I'm saying? They didn't go, the colleges was meant for money. Colleges was set up for institutions and people to, these other, hierarchies to make more money. You know what I mean? Which, and that's not to say it has helped others, and it's helping, us, of course, you know what I'm saying? It's help, but don't feel combined. Don't feel like that you have to do it, in order to be successful, is what I'm saying. You can be successful with just actually having a dream, a goal, and the skills to do what you want to do. And it's been done, and although Fat Boy, I'm gonna let Fat Boy finish in a minute, but I have one for Black history too, of a guy that has owned a lot of land that we didn't know, but that's a whole nother story, whatever, and how he actually did it or whatever, because sometimes we don't go back and listen and look at our history or whatever and see how it was done in order to put it into our modern day, times or whatever. So anyway, so go ahead, Fat Boy. I just wanted to kind of get that part out.
I just want to give y'all a fun fact about him. His father, Sidney, a formerly enslaved person freed in 1863, was the son of John Hunt Morgan, a Confederate colonel. So Mr. Morgan's grandfather, great-grandfather, grandfather was a colonel in the Confederate Army. That's deep, y'all. That's deep. It says that I kind of downplay the sewing machine thing. It turns into a refining company. It actually is where he found his wealth. What he did is, when he moved to Ohio, he got a job with a wealthy landowner and started to pay for more courses to learn more how to read and things like that. And then he got a job at a sewing company and learned how to, that's where he created the pattern on the more modern sewing machine, and then began opening up companies where he tailored clothes. Yeah. And so just a fun fact that I just want to let people know, because I didn't even know that his dad, that is great, his grandfather was a colonel in the Confederate Army. And the Confederate Army was the army who wanted to keep slaves. So that's very interesting.
Cool. So that's our history in Black, folks. If you want to learn more about Mr. Garret, then Garret Morgan, just go on Google it. You'll see it, just like we do. Google it. You know what I'm saying? Educate yourself, fool. And even what I just said earlier, that goes for all races, really. It don't go just for black races. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about all races, no matter who you are or whatever. If you're young and can contribute something to this world and make it better, then, but the only thing that I don't like about is someone creating something and somebody else taking credit for it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even with the whole thing with the traffic light and all that type of stuff, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You have other people that try to take credit for that, and that's not true. So that's why we have their history, those things or whatever that we talk about.
Let me go back, y'all. Let me correct what I said because I don't want to mess up. Okay, he had the company, but the refining company was actually a hair company where he created hair products for straightening. And that is where he broke his where he broke the hole.
Oh, he did that too?
He started with the sewing. I didn't know that. Creating a padding for faster needles on a sewing machine. And then he took that, started a tailor shop. And then from there, he created, it's called, I'm going to give you the name of it. It's called Morgan Hair Refining Company. G.A. Morgan Hair Refining Company. And it was responsible for creating creams and products for African Americans.
Cool. That's what's up. Cool, man. All right, man. Let's get into this next one. Which is kind of like the one I've been waiting on or whatever, because it's a big key to me, and it's a thing that basically that I had to kind of deal with, throughout the few weeks or whatever, and that is, what do healthy communication between spouses look like to you? You know what I mean? What does this between spouses look to you? How does that look to you?
With this topic, I had a way better idea of what it looked like. Now, y'all, I'm not sure what the hell it looked like at this point.
After who we talked about earlier. I mean, but you have an idea of what you want it to look like. You have an idea of what it should look like to yourself, to you. You know what I mean? So let's share that with the people. Like, what is it that how do you feel like it should look when it comes to healthy communication?
The therapies and a couple therapies I've been through, all that stuff. I think that healthy communication looks like two people understanding and appreciating that they both have different perspectives, upbringing, and mindsets. I think that healthy communication looks like actually listening, acknowledging and listening for information and not listening to respond. Healthy communication looks like agreeing to disagree, but still implementing and applying knowledge that was learned, taken from both sides. I think healthy communication between a spouse is not being quick to get an attitude, but more to be more understanding of the other person's feelings. And that's vice versa, whether it's men, whether it's for women. I think that the issue with it is, and this is just me, the issue with it is it starts with self. And that's something that I'm learning.
You see the comment.
It starts with self, and that's something that I'm learning. That within healthy communication, we cannot control the other person's response. All we can do is control our response to maintain the healthy communication. So, for example, if I say something to my lady and she responds the opposite of which in the way that I want her to, right? Instead of getting upset or angry or frustrated, what I have to do is acknowledge what she's saying or acknowledge the conversation and listen for information and not interrupt. The issue comes in where now you're being triggered. And once you're being triggered, you can't properly respond the way you need to or use the tools that you need to. So today my therapist told me that you have to start to use your tools earlier, right? You can't wait till you're already frustrated to start to use the tools.
It blows up.
You have to begin to use the tools earlier. But like I told her, it's so much easier said than done when you're being triggered. But her response, as always, throws me for a loop. Her response is that, which she's right, we can't control their response. We can only control our actions. And so even if they respond in a way that you don't like, you have to use the tools to realize, well, why am I triggered now?
Right.
What about this made me triggered? Why did I react this way? And now move away. But you cannot, what I do is I get triggered and now I'm searching for the tools to calm me down.
I think sometimes some people get frustrated on being the one to have to take the high road, so to speak. You know what I mean? And that's sometimes we look at it like, oh, I'm gonna take the high road. I'm not gonna let it trigger me. I'm not gonna let it bother me. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes that gets frustrating with communicating with each other. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, why, after a while, and unless it's something that you conversation that you're having that's evenly distributed out to each other, whatever, y'all understand it, because communication is also understanding. You know what I'm saying? And although you may not agree, but you have to understand. And with what you're understanding, you have to be able to have actions for that understanding. Yeah. If you follow me. And those actions it's going to either be a positive, it should be a positive reaction or actions taken, or if you just talk about it, communicated about something, and those actions hasn't been taken, and it's going to come up again. And then that's what's going to trigger, and you're going to constantly have those problems or whatever, because it never really got solved. We just talked about it. Okay, yeah, we communicated, we talked about it, but the actions was not taken to try to fix the problem or get, and even if sometimes the actions might not be what you want it to be. It might not be the way that it might not be a positive thing or the thing to the point where, where y'all might, figure out this ain't it for us. This ain't working. Or I need to step back because I need this or whatever, and you probably need that, and I'm not capable of giving you that. And if I'm not capable of giving you that, then I have to step aside or whatever and let you get whoever you want to get to do whatever you want to need to do. And so you have to recognize that within yourself or whatever. My communication with people when they tell me something, I take the actions. And I basically be like, I have to understand where they're coming from and see for sure either I can make something happen, in a positive way, fix it or whatever, or, we can just kind of ignore it and maybe it'll go away and we'll grow still together. That's not the right. That's not the move. That is not the move. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, communicating through spouses, to me, man, you can communicate very well, but the action's not there. I know I ain't gonna say no names because I don't want to put them out there, but I do know a couple that talk a lot about things or whatever, but she's still frustrated because he don't take the actions. He doesn't use the actions that they've talked about. And when that happens, she continued to be more frustrated or whatever. And not only that, she don't talk to him more. She talked to me more, and telling me what's going on or whatever. And that ain't really what you want. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like if she feel like she got to come to me and tell me about everything or things or whatever, then the communication in the household is broken.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, and it's different, like you said, for yourself. I mean, because you speak to a therapist to learn and try to feel it. And if that person sees that's what you're doing, then that's when they should be able to take action as well, and be like, hey, okay, I see you're trying to do this or better that or whatever the case may be, because you take our relationship serious. You take the communication and everything serious or whatever. And that's the action that you've been taking or whatever. You've been doing the homework. You've been doing the school, you know what I'm saying? And trying to understand, this triggering thing can be very tricky. The triggers can be very tricky because sometimes it come out of nowhere when you feel like you're doing the greatest that you've ever done, and I'm gonna add this part as well. I don't know if y'all pray together, but sometimes prayer together helps.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes because sometimes it's kind of like we don't have all the answers. But when we pray about certain things, our minds go into a set where we're definitely going to try and make sure that it's right. If you feel me, if you understand where I'm coming from, yeah. So that's where what I get from communicating between spouses is basically is their actions. I've been in a relationship to where I thought I was a very good communicator, but then she was doing shit to the point where like communicating wise, yeah, she understood what I was saying. She's a grown ass woman. She wasn't done stuck on stupid, but yet her actions showed me something else. You know what I'm saying? And if your action shows me something else, then that means I have to make a different move. I have to think of something, that's gonna, because I don't want the frustration in our relationship, and I don't want the frustration in our lives. I don't want the negativity, you know what I'm saying? Because it takes from my focus for where I'm trying to go and what I'm trying to do. And sometimes that's the devil at work. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the devil, because when things is going good and going smooth, whatever, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? He looks for that weakness to poke you at. You know what I'm saying? And when you get that poke, you kind of like, you're not really thinking at the time. You kind of like want to just kind of like fight back, And that's the whole part that you cannot, you can't do. Although it sounds like you said you're taking the high road so much or whatever to the point where you feel like maybe I'm not being heard or whatever. But you have to understand, once you have that communication, that action, she shouldn't actually be coming at me still. You know what I mean?
But you also have to change, and this is something I'm learning. Because my therapist asked me, "Well, how you feeling? How do you feel about what we talked about?" And I tell her, I ain't like that shit.
Yeah.
I ain't like it. But what I'm learning is you still have to. And this is a topic. You still have to correct the way that you respond to that. Even if you're doing the work and you see that they are not responding the way that you would like them to do and notice your work, you still have to realize that is triggering you and why it's triggering you. Mm-hmm. Because even though it's them, it is you because it's affecting you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And so even though you can only one person you can control in this situation, and that's you. I had the hardest time with that, Fuel. Mm-hmm. Is understanding that within our healthy communication, when she says something that upsets me, I cannot immediately resort back to my old behavior. I have to realize that it upset me. Why did it upset me? And then address the trigger. Mm-hmm. The issue is that we're continuing to suppress the trigger and suppress the emotions, and we're not really getting over the shit. Mm-hmm. And so it clouds the communication Because every time they say some shit to trigger us, we respond how we respond to triggers, which is negative. And that then breaks the healthy communication between spouses.
Do not to say you, but even you guys that are listening and talking, y'all can comment as well.
You got some comments.
Do you ever get in a situation where you ask that person what is it they need, and you give them what they need, but yet they still trigger you to a certain extent mostly about the same thing, or either something just a tad bit different, but it's still they knowing that they're actually intentionally triggering something?
I think that once again, it's you have to realize that that's what's going on. And I said this today to my therapist. I realized that how we got on the tools, I realized that even though I have the tools, I be moving so fast and I be reacting so fast to where I run into an argument and not understanding that I'm not reading the room. I'm not reading the negative energy. I'm not reading the agitation. So instead of, because if I control my own triggers, right? When I'm communicating and I realize that she's agitated, it won't affect me. Because I realize, okay, yeah, it's triggering me, but she's agitated. Okay, so let me use the tools. Let me address this trigger real quick. But then it also gives me the mindset to say, okay, she agitated and I'm about to walk into an argument. Or I'm about to walk into unhealthy communication. So I have to spot it and diffuse the situation right away. Whether that's say, hey, give me a few seconds, let me take a walk. Or whether it's, hey, that is not my intentions, or as simple as just being quiet and allowing them to vent, which is the hardest thing for me to do.
Is that how do you say her name? Shaquanda. Shaquanda is healthy communication the same between a girlfriend, boyfriend, and spouse?
I agree. Yes, it is.
No, she asking, is it the same?
Yes,
Pretty much it is the same. Yeah.
I think that if you learn how to do healthy communication as boyfriend and girlfriend, it will make you better spouses.
Is that part exactly what I was going to say? If you started early doing just to communicate between the boyfriend and girlfriend phase, then definitely you're there pretty much. Once you guys are married. Was that DJ?
That's Veg.
Veg in the house. What's up with you?
Anya.
He said he has a therapist. Okay, he's healing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fine.
But yeah, that's what I was going to say. It is not just. It's not just healing. It's basically learning. It's basically understanding people. A lot better or whatever. Healing. Saying like whatever problems that you basically was having, and you're talking to the. Like you said, well, I guess it is healing, because if you had a bad attitude or snap at anything and stuff like that, and you're getting to a point where you don't do that anymore, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't even come in your mind, like you said, to go back your old ways type of thing or whatever, then yes, it is healing. My bad, Badge.
It is. No, definitely is healing.
Yes. Watching us on LAX. What's up? Where you going?
Okay. I think she's going to go see her G-Mall in Mexico.
And be careful over there. Yeah, be careful in there. In Mexico.
But yeah, absolutely, it's healing. And I'm going to go a step further. It's unpacking. Like I told her today, I realized that I made a joke. I said therapy's fucking me up, right? Because it's unpacking all of these emotions, and now I'm walking around with so many raw emotions
that you didn't know that you had.
That I knew I had, but that I suppressed so much and told so many lies to myself about that I thought that they were true.
Right.
So I'll give you an example. I have an issue. I always have an issue with my children's mother. So I lie to myself and say it doesn't bother me, and it does affect me. It makes me angry. It makes me upset. It makes me powerless. But when I continue to suppress it, if I'm being triggered by anyone in that way, whether it could be my lady and she says something wrong, I'm triggered by that moment.
Right.
I'm still living with that. It's the situation that happened, right? But it's also because I've suppressed the emotion in the past as well.
Yeah.
And so I realized today that I ain't okay, right? I'm becoming okay. I'm healing, as Veg would say, because I suppressed that shit so much. But yeah. So to get back on top, because I know we kind of help. Hey, Nick, watch out.
Nick is in the house. What's up with you, Nick?
Healthy communication between spouses looks like understanding, looking at the situation from this perspective, not yelling, not being spiteful, not hitting below the belt,
and not one-sided.
Listening for information and not listening to respond.
Hold on, say that part again.
Listening for information and not listening to respond.
Yeah.
And Nick, let me read this. Nick dropped something, dropped a jewel. You got the note? You want me to just read it?
Is it this one? There it is.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? Wait a minute, where'd it go? Oh, dang, we got... Nick says learning, understanding, and reacting differently. That's what Veg said. Then Nick said, here it goes.
Communication equals, there we go. Communication equals comprehension. Comprehension equals growth. I like that.
That's true.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now,
and that's before Nick came in. That's basically what we were saying. Is the comprehension is the same way is same as action. Been taking the right actions or whatever. Once you've actually had that communication with each other.
DJ Greg, watch out there now.
Greg,
watch out there now, man.
Hey, Greg, you better. You know you shouldn't have came in here. You know you about to learn something, boy. If Nick is on here, and you too.
No, for real, we about to drop some jewels. I mean, for the most part,
you already know what that means, dog. You better be on your P's and Q's. Look at it, talking about, hey, babe, hey, don't be flirting on my show, man. Don't be trying to get all lovey-dovey and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. You love on your man. You love on your girl, man. That's how you do it.
Nah, that's all good. That's what's up. But yeah, I mean, man, that's basically really it. I mean, comprehensive. Communication, comprehension equals growth. It is growth.
Comprehension equals growth. I agree. But I think to properly comprehend, you have to deal with the traumas you have
within self. And I think that's for those that don't have therapists or therapy to do that type of thing. What would you recommend? Say, for instance,
Free.
I know you recommend therapy. But I'm saying, but everybody's not able to afford therapy or
it's free.
I mean, well, it's right. That's what I'm saying. So you get it for free. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. So that's the source I'm asking.
To answer your question, if you cannot afford it, the first thing that I would tell anyone to do is start to address the suppressed emotions that you have
with yourselves.
Exactly. With yourself.
Yeah.
Before you could properly communicate with someone else, and this is something that I'm learning, y'all, is you have to be properly in tune and comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
You have to have addressed all of the emotional issues that you've gone through. Mm-hmm. If you have not, it makes it difficult to communicate. It makes it difficult for healthy communication because at the moment that you are triggered, the healthy communication goes out the window.
Yeah.
So
I've been in a relationship where I feel like that I communicated well, but they just didn't understand. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where they didn't understand, like, or it's almost saying, just like when you have a goal or when you have a vision, they don't see that vision for you or with you, and that causes a big breakdown in communication.
It does. It does. And then that is when, something I'm learning, that is when you have to make the decision, is this healthy enough for me to stay?
Right.
Because
yes,
what I'm learning is, even though you have control only of yourself, and even though healthy communication involves listening, you have to be dealing with someone that wants to comprehend what you're saying and wants to understand what you're saying. If they're not in the position to understand what you're saying, you could just be communicating to a brick wall. And so while you're doing the work on yourself, they need to be doing the proper work on themselves as well.
Right.
And it's kind of like a tug of war. It's kind of like a constant pruning. You know, I love to use that. While you're pruning the dead leaves off of yourself, she's doing the same, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And that way, when it's time to come to the table, things are different.
Yeah.
But I think that if you're having that issue, I think you need to reevaluate
the situation.
Yeah, situation, the relationship, and can you grow?
And that's a good. That's
and
a good.
Be patient while the situation is unhealthy.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. How far or how long? Hold on, real quick. Veg said that she don't have health insurance. That's why I asked him, Veg. That's why I asked him, like, for those that don't have it, insurance or able to,
they giving away They give. Hey, listen, y'all. I have Medi-Cal. I don't have no Red Cross, Blue Shield, none of that. I went down there to the county building. I got me some little Medi-Cal. They giving it away, and I went. I told my mom to do the same thing she's did it. She done her first therapy session. When y'all go to the doctor and the doctor asks y'all them questions about depression and anxiety and all that, and us black people, we know.
Right.
That's where your therapy is.
Yeah.
So what happened was I went in there and answered those questions right. And I just told him, look, I'm really looking forward to mental health. I met with a counselor. Everything is absolutely free. I have not paid out of pocket. And they gave me a list of people. I'm only with one. When I get done with her, I'm going to somebody else.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely free. And so another thing about that is we have to take advantage of our resources and not think that we can't do it. There's all kind of groups that they offer for free.
There are other resources. Yes, there are. There are free resources out there.
There's all kind of resources, but what we have to do is just the same way, Veg, the same way you Google to find the best electric car is the same way you can find a free counselor.
So basically what he's saying is there is no excuse. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. Ms. May says it has to do with God first.
I do.
Yes, we did. We mentioned that. We mentioned that earlier. Yes, sometimes praying with each other, also just praying for yourself or whatever, it has a lot to do and it helps as well when it comes to communicating with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or significant other. You know, she said, Veg said she don't qualify for Medi-Cal. How you not qualify for Medi-Cal?
Yeah, because she probably make too much money.
Well, then if you make that much money, then you should have insurance. Then, Veg, what kind of job that you got ain't giving you insurance?
Yeah. You should.
You either got to qualify. You got to either qualify or not qualify and have insurance for somebody.
You still can find you some. Listen, go on to Google. I bet you can find free help.
That's true. Yeah,
for sure. And But therapy can be expensive, y'all. But could you put a price on your peace?
Mm-hmm.
So we spend money on other things. How come we can't spend money on a healthy mind, right? Veg,
Right.
you don't put nothing bad in your body, nothing that comes from cows. So it's the same thing, right? You got to spend a little more money to eat the way that you eat.
Right.
So sometimes you may have to spend a little bit more money to get what you need.
Right. Hey, DJ Gray, you stupid, man. He said, I'm using YouTube right now. Free, thanks.
Absolutely.
That's what we're here for.
You can always tune in every Thursday and get some of these little tidbits of the game.
Tell your friends and tell a friend and tell a friend.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's
Next
up.
topic.
Man. All right, yeah, man. Let's get into this one, dog, because I just had experience today, and I feel kind of bad about it because it was kind of like out of character for me. Let's see. Here it is. The importance. Oh, where it goes. The importance of changing the way you act towards disrespect. The importance of changing the way you act towards disrespect.
I got that from Nip, y'all.
From Nick who?
From Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle posted one of his posts was, we have to change the way we react to disrespect. And when I read that, I'm like, man, he's so right. I done read, it's so funny, right? I probably read that caption at least 50 times. But now that I'm doing therapy and just going through what I'm going through, he's so right. I think that because we've suppressed our emotions, and in my therapy again, we had this experiment or this exercise where I had to identify a part of me that I've been using to protect myself in so many words, and it was anger. And a lot of times we revert to these behaviors because we have not properly learned how to deal with that emotion. Right. So anger served a purpose for so long because it protected me. And so it's the same way how we react to disrespect. That's a defense mechanism. It protects us. So I respond to disrespect with aggression, right? Because I'm trying to protect myself instead of asking myself one question: why am I disrespected? Now, once I ask myself, why am I disrespected? Now I start to address, what did it make me feel? Oh shit, it made me feel this way, and that's why I felt like she was bullying me. Oh, so it wasn't the act of disrespect. It was the fact that you felt bullied, right? So it's not necessarily the initial disrespect. It is the trigger. It's the trigger that the disrespects basically impacts.
Yeah. I'm gonna give y'all an example of especially how I changed, because I just realized it today too. A couple of months back, I was in a turning lane. We talked about road rage. I was in a turning lane, and the car, you know how you're in between the yellow. No, actually, I was in between the yellow lines because there's no real turning lane to get to this restaurant, right? So I'm in between, and the car was behind me, was blowing all crazy and shit, right? So he threw a bottle of water at my car, took off. My initial, I was, oh, hell no, like, you ain't just gonna do that shit and get away with it. So of course, I hit the Yui, I cut the Yui and shit, caught him at the corner at the light or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then threw a bottle, of water at his car, right? And then something told me, I was like, oh no, that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. you know. So I followed him and try to, you know, really try to go grab. I was really geared to go try to fight this dude or whatever, and he ended up, you know, going on the other side and zooming off the other way or whatever, you know. Then I'll kind of like, you know, let it go. But that was that trigger of disrespect, because it was kind of like, dude, I'm in the right lane. Why are you mad because you're in the wrong lane to go where you're going or whatever, and I'm not really blocking you. You know what I'm saying? And so that part or whatever. So then today, just today, before the show, you know, when you go on the highway, okay, and there's 2 lanes, but then you have to merge over in order to get in the lane to go, you know, actually get on the highway. Well, if you're in the lane over here and my lane is to go straight, then you're to yield to me and let me go, and then you go, right? Mm-hmm. Man, this lady was putting up FUs and blah, 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 whatever. And then she was like trying to squeeze, and she was this close to the car, all this type of shit, whatever, you know? And I was like, hit it, go ahead, hit it. I was just, you know, she's like, well, I was first. I was, you know, just going off, dude. I got to the point when I got there to the light before you get in the highway, I got out the car. And I came up to her, you know, and of course everybody, you know, they change. Everything changes when you really, you know, they see you were about to go out. Then I you know, I said, lady, I said, you lucky this is me. And I just got in the car and left.
Yeah, but you gotta listen.
Because I thought about it. When I got out, I was like, why am I so?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Why am I so feel like so, you know, although she disrespected me or whatever in a way, but is it enough to trigger me to do something so violent to this person where I could be in trouble? You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like, I just had to think about it. And I just said, lucky is me, because I'm not even
glad you said that.
I'm not even going to go there.
I'm going to leave you with a tool that my therapist left me with. She says, in your mind, you have to create a line that you won't go past, a distinct boundary line.
Absolutely.
Right? Because what happens is we allow. They said it here. She says, yes, because people out here shooting each other over disrespect. And so we have to start to analyze and evaluate, self-evaluate ourselves. Why did I allow their disrespect to take me so far out of my character that I begin to do harm to myself?
For yourself, exactly.
And so, when she said that, it hit home. You have to create a boundary so strong in your own head that I'm not getting out my car no matter what she say.
Right.
Right, because on your end, right, you could get out on the car on the wrong person, and that could be the day you lose your life.
That part.
You feel me? And so, or vice versa, you can get out in a fit of rage, hurt somebody, and it really was that small moment of anger.
Exactly.
And so we have to address how we feel when we disrespect it, because it can cost us our futures.
Yeah. Like Greg just said, temporary insanity. You know,
like Greg said, temporarily insanity.
Yeah.
I think that once we draw that line, we can no longer get that upset, because I know what I'm not going to do. I know I'm not about to get out of my car and put my hands on you.
Right.
I know that I'm not about to go to jail over some stupid shit.
Exactly.
I know I ain't doing that. So when it does affect me and I am disrespected, now I have to act accordingly. And once again, then I start to use my tools. Well, why do I feel disrespected? Oh, I feel disrespected because of this. Well, where did that stem from? It stem from childhood, or it stem from the last girl. When you start to do that, right, it helps you be a better, healthier communicator.
Exactly.
So now you're not operating in your toxicity. You ain't gonna jump out on them. You're gonna just move on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yep, and that's exactly. I just had that thing, and for some reason, it's kind of like, nah,
no, and
yeah,
I'm happy you did, man,
nah.
because
You
a
know what I'm saying?
lot of
We
times,
wouldn't be having the show today, you guys, if I would have really took the actions that I was going to take at first. If I, didn't think about it, first or whatever, which I even thought about too. I probably shouldn't even have jumped out the car. I should just, just let it go or whatever, because it really wasn't that serious or whatever to make a big commotion, cause other traffic back up, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
and it was more, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't even her.
yeah.
It was more everything around you, and she was the outlet.
That's true.
And so sometimes we have to address, because that outlet, especially for a black man, that outlet could cost us the penitentiary or our lives.
Yep.
And so many black men before us have went down that road. And
exactly.
So that's, I feel, the reason why Nip said that, right? Because you can react to disrespect in one moment, shoot someone, slap someone, harm someone. One, it wasn't that serious. Two, now you in real trouble.
Exactly.
And like my father always told me, it's easy to get in trouble, but it's hard to get out.
Exactly. Yep. That's it. Yeah, man. Well, shit, that was good, baby. That was a good show. Hey, we appreciate you guys tapping in.
I still ain't got no dear brother, dear sister.
Yeah, we still ain't. Yeah, that's all right.
I gotta call it with y'all.
I tell you what,
Greg,
you do dear brother, dear sister this coming week, and I'll do
yeah, I got a dear brother, dear sister for sure.
Because I got a Black History that I want.
I got a few of them. Okay, so you do the
Black History,
the Black
History and Blackness,
and then I'll do a dear brother.
Got you. All right, yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. Thanks everyone that's watched it. Dear brother, what Veg say?
Dear brother,
she said there was some good therapy. Yeah, thanks, Veg.
Thank you, Veg. I appreciate
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is. And dear brothers, yeah. Again, if you guys have you do the spiel. You supposed to do the dear brother spiel, dog.
Yeah, man. Listen, now I'm tired of telling you. Now, all right, now I got turned off. But if y'all have a dear brother or dear sister, make sure you send a short audio clip or video clip, no longer than a minute, to firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com. You title it Dear Brother or Dear Sister. Once again, that's firedupbroadcasting@gmail.com. Now, I'm tired of telling you. Send me my dear brother, send me my dear sister. We got one more comment from Carolyn before we get up out of here.
Okay. Where you been, girl? You just been watching, huh? Ain't been saying nothing, but you just now want to say it at the end. What you got?
Carolyn said, dang, the same thing happened to me. Then the guy tried to meet up even with me. I slowed down because I saw a car behind him. So if he would have slowed down, he would have got hit from the back. Yeah, people crazy out here. So there's a great saying is, you have to learn to keep your wits when everyone around you is losing theirs. Yeah. I'm really starting to get that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm really starting to understand that. It is a retrograde too, y'all. So that can have a big thing going on. The astrology, the stars and moons, and everything ain't lined up right. But that's why we gotta be focused on our inner selves.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that if we focus on our inner selves, we can navigate through what's outside of us.
Vince says she has a dear brother. Do you think that infidelity can be worked through? That's hey, Vince. We need to
next week.
Yeah, we're gonna do that next week. We'll get into that next week.
Yeah.
Curly, mom said that she said she think something's in the air. What was this last one up? Hey guys, I think it's something in the air. You know what? You're right. You're probably right.
That retrograde.
Yep. People are truly being crazy while driving. Yeah, I thought everybody be calm during the rain, because it's been raining here. So you think it'd be, but no, it's crazy. Like this is the decade we live in, the damn wild, wild west. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, taking my damn head.
Yeah,
no, for real.
Once again, you guys continue to share.
And we gotta stay focused.
Yeah, continue to share and continue to tap in, y'all. We enjoy y'all each and every week. We appreciate you guys, and y'all know, as once again, every week that we go on here, we try to give informative information. Get open to what you listen, what you want to say, or what you think about things or whatever, as well, without any judgment. So. That's it. That's gonna do it for us, man. You good? You good? You got anything?
I'm good, man. I want to tell y'all, man, thank y'all once again for tuning in. I love y'all, man. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And when y'all tune in, make sure y'all send this to a friend. I'm gonna start telling you, send it to 10 people. Once again, man, I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Another great show for you. I love it.
Yes. Y'all have a great weekend. And remember,
if they
talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace.
Illusions will get the parade. And all the...
What happened? What'd you do?
My bad.
I love y'all. Fuel
All our illusions will get the parade. And all the reasons start to fade.
Why is it going slow? What the hell's going on here? My bad.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons.
All our illusions will get the parade. And all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We say no.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace.